couple of days ago, Darren from Fifine reached out to me and asked if I'd be interested in covering one of their microphones. So I thought, this is what it feels like to be a YouTuber. So that was a kind of moment of realization. So I replied to Darren and I said, absolutely. I said, more than happy to. So he has sent me the Fifine AM8 dynamic microphone. So what I'm going to do is I've not had a chance to look at this myself. This literally arrived about 10-15 minutes ago. So I'm going to have a look what's in the box, get it all set up, and then for my next few videos when I come to record them, instead of using my normal microphone, which is the Razer Siren Mini, I'll be using this one. So we'll see how they compare. So let's get this box open. Okay, so here we have the Fifine AM8, which is a dynamic microphone, which is supposedly ideal for gaming, streaming, and podcasting. So let's have a look what's inside the box. So we can see from the front of the box, it has an XLR connection and a USB connection. I don't have a XLR interface, so I solely use USB for now. So I won't be covering the XLR side. So let's open it up. So we have our little user guide here, which one of these that opens out. So seems pretty straightforward in terms of setting up a USB audio device. I don't think I'll need these. I know how to set one up. I've done it many a time in my life. Next up, we've got a bass. Bass has quite a nice weight to it. It's not too heavy. It's quite a solid plastic. So this is on the kind of budget end of microphones. I believe this retails for about £50-60 in the UK. Not sure what that is in dollars, but I imagine it'll be still in the budget range. So let's take off this little foam top. So here we have the microphone itself. So it has, let's move that box out of the way for now. So there was also a USB cable in the box. It's a USB-C to USB-C, but it also comes with this little USB-A adapter as well. So you can just pop that off and then you've got your USB-C to USB-C cable, which is a nice touch because a lot of companies would probably give you either a standard USB-A to USB-C or USB-C to USB-C. So it's nice to have the choice and have the adapter actually come as part of the package. So let's have a look at the microphone. So here it is. So it comes, I quite like that it has this little stand kind of built into it. Obviously, if I just screw this onto the bottom, there we go. So it, even though it's considered a budget microphone and it does feel plasticky, but the base feels quite sturdy. The base is metal, the microphone's plastic, which is fine because I suppose it means that the base can support the weight, even though it's a relatively light microphone. So this will probably be ideal if, like mine, where you have your microphone mounted on a boom stand, just to not add any unnecessary weight there. So on the front here, we have our gain control at the top. And what's that on the bottom? That's our headphone control. So little headphone symbol there. So you can, if we look on the bottom of the microphone, we've got our USB-C connection, our auxiliary port for our headphones, so you can live monitor the audio, and also your XLR connector there. Like I said, I don't have an XLR connection, but if the USB one sounds decent enough, you can guarantee the XLR one will sound even better, as XLR connections are less prone to electrical noise and interference and things like that. So all in all, it feels quite good. It is, like I said, considering it is considered on the budget end, this does feel quite cost appropriate, almost in a sense. It doesn't feel cheap. The knobs are quite soft. They're more analog knobs as well. They're not like, I know I've had some microphones in the past where they kind of click to the preset increments, whereas this is just a full, 270-degree range. So I'm going to quickly plug this in and I'll show you this little button here. So this is our RGB light control. So the bottom of it here, this white plastic, does have RGB, which I think I'm over RGB, but if you're someone who's still into it, then that's a nice little touch as well. Obviously, I believe you can turn it off, but you can customize it. I don't think there's many customization options. We'll have a look now. Plug it into my computer, and then we'll pop the USB-C in the bottom. There we go, it's lit straight up. My computer's pinged. It's very happy. So if I tap this, we'll get a nice rainbow. So you just tap through, it goes through different cycle modes, and I think if I press and hold, that turns it off. Okay, so I've got this light on the bottom as well. So currently it's red, which means the microphone is muted. However, if I press, it goes green. You do have to give it, it's not a light tap. You have to have a little bit of a proper press behind it, because if I gently tap, nothing seems to happen. But if I give it a nice firm press, then it does mute the microphone, which is a great little feature. Whereas this front button, I believe, is capacitive, so it's just requires a touch rather than a push. So that's the unboxing side. So what I'll do is I will use this microphone for the next few days, and I will give my honest thoughts in my review. So this is my current setup through OBS. So I do have some filters applied to this. So this is the Razer Siren Mini with the filters applied. And this is the Razer Siren Mini with the filters unapplied. Well, not without the filters applied, I should have said. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pack away my Razer Siren Mini, and for the next few videos, what I'm going to do is I'll be using the Fifine. So you won't see this video until after those videos go out, so you might notice things are a little bit different, and hopefully this video explains why. So just to clarify as well, there has been no money that is exchanged hand. I'm not being paid for this review. All they did was ask nicely and then send me the microphone. I'm under no obligation to glaze the company, as the kids say, and really kind of overdo the enthusiasm. I'm just going to give my honest thoughts and opinions on this. Okay, so we're all plugged in, we're all hooked up. It hooked straight into my boom arm, nice and easy, and I've still kind of got, I won't touch it because that will be annoying. Actually, what I can do is I can tap it to mute it. I can then adjust it, and that's quite handy, although I'm aware that as I'm touching it, it's going to cause vibrations to go through the microphone. So I am peaking a little bit, so I'm going to just gently adjust the gain, which is one of the things which I think this does definitely have over the Razer Siren Mini, is that doesn't have any on-device controls. Everything has to be managed through, in my case, OBS or whatever recording software you use here. And it's currently, I can see that if you get the black version, it's got a spring sale on for £47. I don't know if that's specific to the UK. I'm not 100% on that, but I'll be sure to see what I can find out about the international pricing. In terms of sound quality, I think the Razer might just edge it out, but given that Razer is a much more premium brand and the price points are roughly the same, although the Razer I normally use, the Siren Mini version 2, I believe is discontinued because they've now got the version 3. I don't know what the sound quality is like on that one compared to the 2. I know it has an extra button. It's still lacking the dials like this one has, like I covered at the start. So to be able to check your gain on the fly, or to be able to monitor your audio before you start recording, is always ideal. I don't wear headphones when I record, just for, I don't really have a good pair of headphones to hand. So to be able to check that beforehand is always a bonus, especially when you've got a gob like mine and it can get quite loud at points. Also, I've not been able to check it, like I said earlier, but it does have the XLR input, which will probably bump the sound quality just above the Razer because it will reduce that electrical noise that you can tend to get from USB connections. So all in all, I think if you're after a decent microphone without breaking the bank, then you can't go wrong with the Fifine AM8. It's not going to be the best sounding microphone, but like I said, for the price range, you really can't beat it. And it's also got the lovely little bit of RGB if you're into that. And having this little quick mute button here is quite handy. So, yeah, this is my first product review. So there'll be links in the description from Darren from Fifine. There'll also be my affiliate link. So if this is something you're interested in, then feel free to order from any of those. But if you had to pick one, I'd appreciate it. As always, if this video helped you out or you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate a like and a subscribe. I've finally set up a Discord. I know I've let myself down, I've let my family down. My girlfriend won't talk to me anymore. She's in the Discord actually. But there'll be a link to that as well. You can support the channel through Ko-Fi or buy me a coffee or just by liking, subscribing and sharing. And until then, I will see you next time.